This product is not sponsored or endorsed by Kazuki Takahashi, Konami, 4Kids Entertainment, Upper Deck Entertainment, or any other person or entity associated with any of the featured characters or game products. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a copyright and trademark of Kazuki Takahashi.
You too can become a master duelist just like I did with all 3 School of Duel videos. Learn Yu-Gi-Oh! New Duelist, learn Yu-Gi-Oh! Advanced Duelist, and learn Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duelist.
Your turn!
Welcome to the School of Duel. This is an unlicensed, unofficial, unauthorized video that demonstrates the art of dueling with Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I am Professor Duel. This School of Duel, Learn Yu-Gi-Oh! Advanced Duelist video will demonstrate some of the more advanced techniques, rules, and concepts that you'll need to know when dueling with the Joey and Pegasus starter decks. In this advanced video, you will learn about quick play spell cards, continuous spell cards, tune monsters, cost effect monsters, trigger effect monsters, continuous trap cards, replays, counter trap cards, ritual monsters, fusion monsters, monster tokens, spell speeds, chains, and more. There is a lot to know, so be sure to watch this advanced video a few times to make sure you get every last detail. This is an advanced lesson, so you should already have a basic understanding of how to duel according to the rules. In order to get the most benefit, you should already know about monster, spell, and trap cards, dueling phases, and how to normal summon, flip summon, tribute summon, calculate battle damage, and activate and set normal spell and trap cards. If you are a new duelist and these concepts are not familiar to you, be sure to watch School of Duel, Learn Yu-Gi-Oh! New Duelist before watching the rest of this program. It's available wherever videos, cards, and toys are sold. For more information about School of Duel videos and DVDs, visit the official School of Duel website at www.schoolofduel.com. There you can find discussion boards on just about any dueling topic, articles, tips, news, and more. Ever heard of magic cards? In some card sets and in some countries, spell cards used to be referred to as magic cards. If you have magic cards in your deck, all the rules and concepts relating to spell cards apply equally to magic cards. For the official rules about dueling, consult the rule book that came with your starter deck. Now, join me in my study as we visit the School of Duel.
Hello? Anybody here?
Hello, Bradley.
Professor Duel? Are you here?
Is that you, Bradley? Can you hear me now?
Where are you?
Oh, I'm close by. Close enough to help my friends with their dueling lessons. I've been expecting you, Bradley, for some time. You've come a long way in your dueling skills in a very short time.
You've been expecting me? Wow. This place is cool, Professor. Look at all this stuff.
That's my lunch, Bradley.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
What can I do for you, Bradley?
Well, it's about dueling. I beat the friend who taught me, but I want to be even better. I want to win on the schoolyard and beat my friends. I want to enter tournaments, but I just don't think that I'm ready. I want to become a master duelist. I need to learn some cool strategies.
Strategy is very, very important, but to become a master duelist, there are many more rules beyond the basics that must become a part of your duelist nature.
Oh, well, will you teach me?
Of course.
But how? You're not even here.
Yes, right now and right here, Bradley. I'm closer than you think. I will teach you one lesson right now. But before we can complete your teachings, you must first send me your friends and family, your toughest foes who you duel against, so that I can teach them as well.
But wait, if you teach them, how's that going to help me get any better?
A wise question, Bradley. In time, you will be able to answer that question yourself.
Huh?
I promise to teach you your lessons, and I shall. You'll just have to trust me.
I do, Professor, but I don't have any cards with me.
Yes, you do.
Whoa, that was cool. You do magic spells.
That was not a spell, but this is. There are 6 types of spell cards. From your duel with Ethan, you already know about normal, equip, and field spell cards. You also learned about normal and continuous trap cards. But there are 3 spell card types and 1 trap card type that you did not learn about. You can determine the type of spell or trap card by looking at the icon on the top right corner of the card.
I knew I was missing something.
I'll explain. Quick play spell cards are the only type of spell cards that can be activated on your opponent's turn. In order to play them on your opponent's turn, they must be on the field before they are activated. You can also activate quick play spell cards out of your own hand on your own turn. I'll show you. Mystical Space Typhoon is a good card to use to demonstrate the power of quick play spell cards. Pretend that we are in the middle of our duel. You just completed your battle phase and destroyed my only monster on the field. You have Harpy's brother with 1800 ATK on the field in face-up attack position. Those cards in front of you are your hand. My field is empty. Go ahead and set your Mystical Space Typhoon face down in the spell and trap card zone and end your turn. Now it's my turn. I draw. I will summon my Dream Clown with 1200 ATK. I will equip it with Malevolent Nuzzler, which boosts the ATK of my Dream Clown by 700 for a total of 1900. If my monster were to attack your monster, as it stands now, my 1900 ATK beats your 1800 ATK, and your monster would be destroyed. But, since you have your Mystical Space Typhoon, you could have weakened my monster by destroying my Malevolent Nuzzler right after I activated it.
I see. So I should activate my Mystical Space Typhoon during your main phase to destroy your Malevolent Nuzzler. Your Dream Clown's ATK goes back down to 1200. Now there's no way you'd attack my Harpy's brother because you would lose 600 life points and your Dream Clown would be destroyed.
That's right.
Great, I think I understand.
Would you like a peek into the thinking of a master duelist? There is another way you can activate that Mystical Space Typhoon to turn your own defense into an offense.
That sounds great. Will you show me?
Let's say that you didn't activate your Mystical Space Typhoon during my main phase 1. You saw the attack I was building up to, but you also knew what you had waiting in your spell and trap card zone. Patience here is a virtue.
All right.
Do you remember the steps in a battle phase?
Sure. There are 4 steps in a battle phase. Start step, battle step, damage step, and the end step.
That's right, smart boy. And you can activate quick play magic cards on the field during 3 of those steps. Start step, battle step, and the damage step.
Why is that a Master Duelist concept?
Well, if you activated your Mystical Space Typhoon during the start step, I would simply not attack. It would work just like when you activated your Mystical Space Typhoon during my main phase.
Okay.
And during the damage step, you can only activate quick play spell cards that directly modify the ATK or DEF of one of the monsters in the battle. Although you would like to destroy my malevolent nuzzler with your mystical space typhoon, that's not allowed during this step. But if you had a quick play spell card like Rush Recklessly on the field, you could activate that card to bump up your own ATK points.
This is getting pretty complicated.
Yes, it is. But here comes the good part. You can activate your mystical space typhoon during the battle step. Since the battle step starts once I have declared that I am attacking your Harpy's brother, when you destroy my malevolent nuzzler, my Dream Clown's points go right back down to 1200, and I still have to attack.
I see. You would lose 600 life points, and your monster is destroyed. Wow, that is a Master Duelist concept.
Yes, it is. But let's not stop now. I have more to show you.
I'm all ears.
I'll just set this card and end my turn instead.
This is too easy. I summon 7 colored fish. Now, I enter my battle phase. First, my Harpy's brother attacks your life points directly. You lose 1800 life points.
Wait just a second. I activate Scapegoat. This is another quick play spell card. It lets me place 4 monster tokens on the field, which...
Monster tokens?
Yes, monster tokens. When a card calls for monster tokens, you use an object such as a coin, a die, or other small item to represent a monster. You can use almost anything so long as it has 2 sides to represent attack and defense positions. Scapegoat lets me place 4 monster tokens in defense position on my side of the field. These tokens have an attack and defense of 0. I'll use these quarters as my monster tokens, and we'll call the tail side defense. Now go ahead. You are going to attack.
But it won't do much good. My Harpy's brother attacks your first token, and my 7 colored fish attacks your second token.
Do you see how using this quick play spell card saved me from taking 3,600 points of damage?
Yeah, of all things I might have expected, I certainly didn't expect sheep. That was pretty sneaky.
Nothing sneaky here, just knowing the rules and using them to my advantage. Well, that's all for now, Bradley. It's time for you to go find others in need of my training.
I still don't know how this is going to help me, Professor Duel, but you're the teacher. I guess I'll see you around.
Soon, I hope. There goes one of my best and brightest pupils. Training can be quite difficult, and I hope he doesn't give up. I will keep my fingers crossed.
Thanks for having me over today, Professor Duel. Bradley said you had a few things you wanted to teach me about dueling. I really appreciate you taking the time out for this lesson.
No problem.
Actually, there is a problem. I have to be better than all those boys at my school. They don't take me seriously as a duelist. That is, unless I can beat them.
I sense great determination in your voice. Don't worry, Hannah. After I teach you about continuous spell cards, toon monsters, and cost effect monsters, you'll be a tough player to beat. Have you mastered these skills yet?
No, Professor. That's exactly what I'm having trouble with. How'd you know?
Isn't that the Toon World card that you're holding in your hand?
Oh, yeah. Right. How'd that happen? You know, I always get confused on how to battle with my toon monsters. I almost never use them because I'm just not sure of myself.
Well, that's what the School of Duel is here for. Let's see if I can explain. Imagine that we are in a duel, and both of our fields were just cleared by some great battles. You're beating me so far by 1,000 life points. Those 5 cards you are holding are your hand. Before you can summon any Toon monsters, you have to activate the Toon World spell card. Toon World is a continuous spell card.
What is a continuous spell card?
The difference between continuous spell cards and normal spell cards is that once continuous spell cards are in play, they stay on the field until they are destroyed or removed from play by the effect of another card.
So I activate Toon World in my spell and trap card zone. But it says I have to pay 1,000 life points to activate it?
Yes, you do. But toon monsters are very special, as you will soon see. This could be a small price to pay to be able to play these powerful monsters. Now, you can summon your toon monsters.
I summon Toon Mermaid. She only has 1,400 ATK, but that's the only non-tribute toon monster I have right now.
Fine, but before you do, you should know that there are lots of rules about toon monsters that you need to know. They can't be normal summoned. They can only be special summoned when Toon World is active on your own side of the field. They can't even be set, although they can be special summoned in face-up defense position. If your Toon World is destroyed, your toon monsters are also destroyed.
Well, then I'd better be sure to protect my Toon World card.
That's right. Now, if your opponent has no toon monsters on the field, you may inflict direct damage to your opponent's life points. But if your opponent does have toon monsters on the field, your attack must target the toon monster. And beware, each attack you make with your toon monster costs you 500 life points. So choose your battles wisely.
Since toon monsters are always special summoned, how many can I special summon during each turn?
Since they are special summoned, toon monsters are not subject to the one normal summon limit like other monster cards. You may summon more than one toon monster per turn and still do a normal summon. So go ahead, bring out your toon summoned skull.
Wow. You mean I can go from no monsters to toon summon skull, a tribute monster, in just one turn? Now I'm really going to do some damage. I enter my battle phase and...
There is one more catch. Toon monsters must wait a turn after they are summoned before they may attack. This makes them a little vulnerable, so make sure they are well protected. Let me make another point about toon monsters. You can only take control of an opponent's toon monster or special summon one from the graveyard, like with Monster Reborn, if you have Toon World active on your side of the field.
Oh, okay, so I'll just end my turn.
I will draw a card. I'm going to set this monster in defense position and end my turn.
Now I gotcha. My Toon Summon Skull with 2,500 ATK attacks your life points directly.
Yes, but you also lose 500 points because of your toon monster's cost effect. A cost effect monster is a monster that requires a payment of some sort to use its effect. The payment can be discarding a card, discarding several cards, or losing life points. Let me make another point about toon monsters. Because you were able to attack my life points directly, you didn't have to attack my face-down card, which was a penguin soldier. If your toon summoned skull wasn't a toon monster, let's say it was the regular summoned skull, not only would you have not inflicted any damage to my life points, but you would have activated Penguin Soldier's effect, which would have sent summoned skull back to your hand.
Now I've got another good reason to use Toon Monsters.
And a darn good one, too.
Gee, there sure is a lot to know about Toon Monsters. I sure am glad I know what cost effect monsters are. I'll check all my cards when I get home and be sure to use them wisely.
That's exactly right. Not everyone has the skill to play an effective toon deck, but I think you will. Go home and practice, young Hannah, and we'll see you back here again soon.
Thanks, Professor. I bet I'll do a lot better when I battle the boys now. They're not going to know what hit them.
Good luck, Hannah. Bradley tells me that you're an up-and-coming duelist.
Yeah, but I don't duel against my brother a lot. He's real good, and he always beats me.
Here, sit down, Max. What if I teach you a few things that will help you become a better duelist? Maybe then you could win a few matches of your own.
Really? That would be awesome, Professor Duel. Wow! Ultimate Offering. This is a cool card to have in your deck. I've never seen one.
It's a continuous trap card.
A what?
A continuous trap card. What do you know about them?
Well, I've used other types of trap cards.
What if we were dueling, and on the field you had an island turtle in face-up attack position, and an ultimate offering face down in the spell and trap card zone? Let's say that I have a Darkfire Soldier number 1 and an Armored Lizard on my side of the field.
So, whose turn is it?
Let's say it's my turn, Max. In my battle phase, Darkfire Soldier number 1 attacks Island Turtle. This isn't looking very good for you, Max, is it?
No, it's not.
It's okay, Max. Stay calm and think about that face-down trap card. Remember that you can activate a trap card on your turn or your opponent's turn.
Okay, let's see. I activate Ultimate Offering. It says I can pay 500 life points and perform a normal summon. But I can only summon a monster during my own turn, right?
Usually that's true, Max, but a continuous trap card can be activated at any time after the end of the turn during which it was set. And so you can use its effect during your opponent's turn. Just like continuous spell cards, continuous trap cards stay on the field until they are destroyed or removed from play by its own effect or the effect of another card. Since the Ultimate Offering card is still on the field, you can use its effect again.
Can I even do a tribute summon?
Yes.
Cool. Well, I have a red-eyed bee dragon, but that needs 2 tributes. I'll use Ultimate Offering to summon Spirit of the Harp. Then I can send these 2 monsters to the graveyard as a tribute and bring out my red-eyed bee dragon. Now you are attacking a much stronger monster.
That was a very good move, Max. But now I must teach you about replays.
Replays?
Yes, Max. You see, whenever the number of monsters on the field changes due to the activation of a spell card, trap card, or effect monster during a battle phase, the gameplay returns to the previous step. This is known as a replay. When a replay occurs, play returns to the beginning of the battle step with the attacker re-choosing an attacking monster and target. In this case, when you special summoned another monster to the field, you triggered a replay. Since you now have such a strong monster on the field, I'm going to change my mind and not attack.
This continuous trap is totally rad, Professor Duel.
I'm not familiar with the term rad. Is that a good thing?
Yes, very good. Do you think I can beat my brother now, Professor Duel?
Well, I'm not sure, Max, but what I do know is that you're definitely on your way to becoming one tough advanced duelist.
Advanced Duelist? I wish. I've got so much to learn still.
That's exactly why I asked Bradley to send you here, Chad. I think if you begin to understand the impact of some of the lesser-known rules, you'll be on your way.
I'm trying, Professor Duel. I've been training for so long.
What do you think would really help to improve your game, Chad?
Besides these? It's for my dexterity, you know? Gotta get to those cards quickly.
Exercise is good, but I was thinking more in terms of the advanced rules that we can teach you.
Oh, right. I don't know. I've got these great counter traps in my deck, and I would love to make the most of them, but I just don't know how.
Perfect. Then why don't we start by showing you how counter traps can turn the tables during a duel. To start, let's say we're in the middle of a duel, and you have a 7 Tools of the Bandit set face down in your spell and trap card zone, and Karate Man in face-up attack position. I already drew a card, so it's my main phase 1, and I summon Dream Clown in face-up attack position and set a card face down on the spell and trap card zone. Then, in my battle phase, my Dream Clown attacks your Karate Man. Since my monster has an ATK of 1200 and yours only has an ATK of 1000, your monster loses this battle and is destroyed. You lose 200 life points, which is the difference between our monster's ATK. Now, I end my turn. How about you? Your turn.
I activate Dark Hole and destroy your Dream Clown.
This is where things get a little complicated. In response to your activation of Dark Hole, I activate the counter trap card, Magic Jammer. The card's effect requires that I discard one card from my hand to the graveyard, and I discard Soul Release to negate the activation of Dark Hole. In other words, the effect of your Dark Hole has been negated or cancelled. But you get a chance to respond. Is there any card that you want to play?
I have a counter trap of my own. I activate 7 Tools of the Bandit. Does that sound right?
Read the card's effect and let's see.
Pay 1,000 of your life points to negate the activation of a trap card and destroy it. So if I pay 1,000 life points, I can negate or cancel your Magic Jammer. I'll do that.
Since your 7 Tools of the Bandit negates my Magic Jammer, then the effect of your Dark Hole is activated. I lose my Dream Clown, and I have no monsters left on the field.
With your field cleared, I will summon 7 colored fish, and I will enter my battle phase, and I will attack your life points directly.
Very good, sport. Magic Jammer and 7 Tools of the Bandit are 2 counter trap cards that can change the momentum of a duel. Having a counter trap set forces your opponent to rethink his strategy.
You know, having counter traps is one thing, but knowing how to use them effectively is awesome. Thank you, Professor Duel. I mean, I knew that counter traps were powerful. I just didn't know how powerful. I can't wait to try these out on my friends. Yes, I will be the greatest duelist ever.
You kids are all just crazy.
Crazy about dueling. Thanks, Professor Duel.
Let me guess. You must be Bradley's father, Brian.
Yes, that's right. How did you... Well, Bradley and I both have the same eyes, but my beard is a bit thicker.
Please sit down.
Thank you. Bradley says you're a master duelist and a great teacher. He's learned a lot from you and your schoolofduel.com website. He and I have been dueling for quite a while now. As a dad, it's great to see my child play a game that makes him strategize and think about every move. He asked me to come to you, but he wasn't sure why.
In time, he'll understand. Tell me, what else do you enjoy about dueling?
It's so hard to find activities that we can all do together as a family, and I know how much the kids enjoy this game. And I really enjoy dueling too, but I'd like to provide a better challenge. And frankly, I'd like to win. Maybe just once.
I'm sure that I might be able to teach you a trick or two.
I'll take all the help I can get, Professor.
Are you familiar with fusion and ritual monsters?
Somewhat. Those are special monsters that have to be special summoned. But I've never dueled with them before.
Right, but there's much more to know. Let me explain. Fusion monsters are a combination of 2 or more monsters that are typically fused together with the spell card Polymerization to make a new, more powerful monster. The fusion monster.
The fusion monster?
Yes. The fusion material cards and polymerization can come from your hand or from the field. But the fusion cards themselves, which are violet, do not come from your deck. They come from their own pile called the fusion deck, which is placed on the fusion deck zone before the start of the duel. And remember, fusion monsters do not count against the 40-card minimum. Go ahead and look through your fusion deck so you'll know what you've got.
Okay, now what?
Let's say we're in the middle of a duel. In my turn, I will set a monster in face-down defense position. You wouldn't usually know this, but I set a monster with high defense points, and that baby dragon is just not going to be strong enough to beat it. Now, it is your turn. I've made sure you've got some of everything you'll need for this lesson in your hand.
Okay. I draw. And if I suspect you have a high defense monster, I sure wouldn't attack with what I've got in this hand. So I'm going to activate a polymerization and create a fusion monster. Now I saw in my fusion deck a fusion monster called Thousand Dragon. I see that I have a baby dragon on the field and a time wizard in my hand. And according to the description, I can move both of those to the graveyard and summon Thousand Dragon.
That was good. Fusions really aren't that hard if you have all the fusion material. The trick is building your deck so that you end up with the fusion material you'll need at the right time.
I see that now.
A fusion monster is considered a special summon, so a normal summon may still be performed on the same turn a fusion monster is summoned.
Okay, I'll do that. For my normal summon, I choose my Gearfried the Iron Knight. I enter my battle phase. My Thousand Dragon attacks your face-down monster. Let's see what it is.
Your Thousand Dragon destroys my Aqua Madur.
Now with no monsters in the field left standing, I attack you directly with Gearfried the Iron Knight.
Not only did you have a monster advantage over me 2-1, but you had some strong monsters. Can you see how fusion monsters can overpower your opponent?
Wow, I sure do. These fusion monsters are really powerful.
Let me also mention that there are other cards which allow you to summon fusion monsters, but they are not included in these starter decks. Now let me tell you about ritual monsters. Ritual monsters are blue in color and are monsters that are special summoned using a ritual spell card. Usually, a special action needs to be taken to summon the monster to the field, which will be explained on the ritual spell card. The action usually involves discarding monsters from your hand or field to the graveyard.
I see. So, like with fusion monsters, since a ritual monster is considered a special summon, I can still do a normal summon on the same turn that a ritual monster is special summoned.
Yes, you really get it.
Yeah, this is really starting to make sense to me now. Let's see some ritual monsters in action.
Great, I love that enthusiasm. Let's clear the field and set things up for your next lesson. Let's reset the score. Go ahead and take 5 new cards. I've got Red Eyes B-Dragon and Gearfried the Iron Knight on the field. Your field is empty. Let's see how you can deal with this setup. I think you'll like what you find in your hand. It is now your turn. Go ahead and start with your draw phase.
I draw a card, and I'll start my main phase 1 by summoning Sonic Bird in a face-up attack position. Now the card's effect says that I can search through my deck for a ritual spell card.
That's right. Look for a magic card with this icon in the top right corner.
Now, I just found a Black Illusion ritual card. This seems pretty simple.
Yes, it is. A ritual spell card requires you to discard from your hand or remove from the field monsters whose number of stars equal or exceed what is required by the ritual spell card.
I see. So Black Illusion ritual only requires 1 star. So I'll discard Mindless Radiant to the graveyard and summon Relinquished in a face-up attack position. That's it? That's how you summon a ritual monster?
Yep, that's all there is to it.
Hey, this Relinquished card has 0 ATK. What's the point of that? And this effect looks very complicated.
0 points to start, yes. But it is one of the more amazing cards in your deck. You can force your opponent to relinquish, or give up, 1 monster from his side of the field. Once you have absorbed a monster, it becomes an equipped spell card and equips Relinquished. If the monster you absorb is face up, then that monster's ATK and DEF are added to Relinquished's ATK and DEF.
Wow, it's like a change of heart built right in.
That's right. But keep in mind that if the monster you absorb is in the face down position, you get no boost to Relinquished's ATK or DEF.
I will use Relinquished's effect to absorb your Red Eyes B-Dragon. Now my Relinquished has an attack of 2400. That seems much better. And it's time for my battle phase. My Relinquished attacks Gearfree the Iron Knight, which inflicts 600 points of damage to your life points. Now I attack your life points directly with my Sonic Bird.
That's it! You did it! There are a few other things you should know about Relinquished. If your equipped Relinquished loses a battle, it's the equip card that is destroyed, not Relinquished itself. And any life point damage your opponent inflicts upon Relinquished when it is equipped is also inflicted on your opponent.
Wow, that's a pretty amazing monster.
But if Relinquished is not equipped, damage is calculated as with any other monster. Remember, it has a 0 ATK.
Got it. I can't decide which I like better, fusion monsters or ritual monsters.
When used in the right deck, both are very powerful tools, and with enough practice they will take you far. I think you're just about ready to challenge your son. Practice makes perfect.
A father's work is never done.
Have you been teaching advanced dueling all day?
I have. Not everyone started so advanced, but they're all getting there, Jordan.
You know, Professor Duel, when I challenge my friends, I know that I'm an okay duelist, but I always feel like if I just knew a few more of the advanced rules, like maybe how to use trigger and continuous effect monsters, I would be a much better player. Do you think you can teach me?
When the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Well, I don't exactly see you, Professor. Where are you?
At the moment, I'm deep in jungles of Malaysia, but it's a long story, Jordan. Let's get to work here. Have you seen this card before?
Yes, that's Sangan.
Right. And it is a trigger effect monster. That means that the effect is activated when you have fulfilled the specific requirement indicated on the card.
What is Sangan's trigger?
Good question. The trigger for Sangan is when it is sent from the field to the graveyard. So, if it goes from your hand to the graveyard, the effect is not activated.
Okay, but what's Sangan's effect?
Sangan allows you to move one monster with an ATK of 1,500 or less from your deck to your hand. Then you shuffle your deck. Would you like to see how it works in a duel?
Okay.
Let's say that we just started a duel, and in my first turn I set Sangan in defense position. I usually set my Sangan face down, since it has a relatively low ATK of its own. Those 5 cards in front of you are your hand. Your turn.
I'll draw. And I think I will summon Mahavelo with my normal summon. Next, I equip Mahavelo with Malevolent Nuzzler.
Excellent move. Mahavelo is a continuous effect monster, which means that its effect is active as long as the card is face up. This card's effect is to add 500 attack for every equipped spell card that is added to it. Since you added Malevolent Nuzzler, you not only get its 700-point boost, but you also get another 500-point boost from Mahavelo's effect.
Right. So now my Mahavelo attacks your face-down monster. Wink, wink.
You make a good point. Normally, you wouldn't know what my face-down monster was, but of course you already know that it's my Sangan.
My Mahavelo equipped with Malevolent Nuzzler at 2750 ATK destroys your Sangan with only 600 DEF.
Yes, but now I get Sangan's effect.
Right. Its effect was triggered by going from the field to the graveyard.
You're a fast learner. At this point, I go through my deck and pick out a monster with 1,500 or less ATK. I would probably try to find a monster with a great effect, since I can't get a very powerful monster out with Sangan's effect.
I see. Well, I can imagine lots of great cards in my own deck that I would get.
So can I. And I think you've got the idea. You're doing a great job. A+ for you, my friend.
Domo arigato, Professor Duel. That means thank you very much in Japanese. I really appreciate the lesson.
Chirimo tsumoreばYamato naru. Great oaks from little acorns grow. Thank you, little acorn, and good luck.
Hello, Professor Duel. It's me again, Bradley.
Come on in, Bradley. I've been looking forward to your return.
Well, I've sent you my best dueling buddies, like you asked. I gotta tell you, Professor, they sure have become good duelists. They keep beating me, but I have to say, I learn from each and every one of them. I can't believe how powerful fusion monsters are. And those ritual monsters like Relinquished are really amazing.
Yes, they are, my young friend.
And now that I see how to use a trigger effect monster, continuous effect monster, continuous spell cards, and those great quick play spell cards like Mystical Space Typhoon, I've really started to improve my deck and use it the right way to win more duels.
That's very good, Bradley.
But one thing I don't understand. How do all these things work together? I mean, with all these effects going on, how do I figure out which effects go through and which ones don't?
The answer to that question is with the secrets of chains and spell speeds.
Chains and spell speeds? What are those?
Every spell, trap, and effect monster card has a speed. These speeds determine if you can continue in a chain or not. There are 3 different spell speeds, simply called Spell Speed 1, Spell Speed 2, and Spell Speed 3. Spell Speed 1 type cards include Normal Spell, Continuous Spell, Equip Spell, Field Spell, Ritual Spell, and most effect monsters, including Continuous, Cost, Trigger, and Flip effect monsters. Spell Speed 2 type cards include Quick Play Spell, Normal Trap, Continuous Trap, and Multi-Trigger effect monsters. Spell Speed 3 type cards include just counter traps.
What is the big deal about spell speeds?
Spell speeds tell us which cards can be used in response to other cards. Spell Speed 1 cards cannot be used to counter any Spell Speed 1, 2, or 3 cards. Spell Speed 2 cards can be used to counter Spell Speed 1 cards or other Spell Speed 2 cards, but not Spell Speed 3 cards. Spell Speed 3 cards can be used to counter any Spell Speed cards 1, 2, or 3. You see, Bradley, spell speeds relate to chains. In my opinion, this is the secret to dueling success.
Chains? Wow, now we're getting deep.
Yes, Bradley, chains and spell speeds are the last lessons you need to become an advanced duelist. Whenever your opponent activates a spell, trap, or effect monster card, you are given the chance to respond to it by playing another card. The rules say that your opponent must ask, "Do you wish to continue?" If you choose to respond, the card that you play must be appropriate for the response, and the card must be an appropriate spell speed. After you activate your card, then you must ask your opponent if he wishes to continue, and so on. This is called a chain. Let me show you in a duel. Here is your hand. It is the first turn of our duel. Go ahead and make your move.
I summon Flame Manipulator. Next, I'm going to set this card into the spell and trap card zone, and this card too.
Nice start. Now on my turn, I will draw a card. I will set this card in the spell and trap card zone. Next, I summon Rogue Doll. For the purpose of this lesson, I am not going to attack. Your turn.
I summon Gearfried the Iron Knight.
I activate my trap hole, which destroys your Gearfried the Iron Knight. Do you wish to continue?
Let's see. Yes. I activate my 7 tools of the bandit. Now, this is where I get confused. What happens next?
First, you must pay the 1,000 life point cost.
Okay.
Then you should ask me if I wish to continue.
Do you wish to continue?
No, I do not. This is a chain. I activated Trap Hole after your summon. Trap Hole is a Spell Speed 2 card because it is a normal trap card. In response to the activation of Trap Hole, you activated 7 Tools of the Bandit, which is a Spell Speed 3 card because it is a counter trap card. In this case, our chain has only 2 links, or 2 cards. To resolve a chain, we apply the effects in the opposite order in which the cards were activated. So the first effect that we will resolve is 7 Tools of the Bandit. Its effect is to negate the activation of a trap card and destroy it. Its target is Trap Hole. Now we will look at the second card in the chain, Trap Hole.
But wait, wasn't it just destroyed?
Exactly. Since the first card in the chain destroyed Trap Hole and negated its effect, Trap Hole's effect cannot be activated. So this chain is now resolved.
I see. So to resolve a chain, you apply the card effect in the opposite order in which they were activated. I get it. Now that my Gearfried the Iron Knight is safely summoned, I will enter my battle phase. Gearfried the Iron Knight attacks your Rogue Dog, inflicting 200 damage. With your field cleared, my Flame Manipulator will then attack you directly. I will end my turn.
Now let's fast forward to the end of this duel.
I'm going to activate Change of Heart and take control of your monster. Do you wish to continue?
Yes, I do. I activate Magic Jammer, discard a card, and negate your Change of Heart. Do you wish to continue?
Yes. I'm going to activate 7 Tools of the Bandit in response to your Magic Jammer. That will cost me 1,000 life points. Do you wish to continue?
No.
Let me see if I can get this straight. I activated Change of Heart, which is a spell speed 1 normal spell card. You countered with Magic Jammer, which is a spell speed 3 counter trap card. I then responded with 7 Tools of the Bandit, also a spell speed 3 counter trap card. So we resolved the effects in the opposite order in which they were played. So first, my 7 Tools of the Bandit destroys and negates your Magic Jammer.
Yes.
Then the second card that gets resolved is your Magic Jammer. But since it was negated by my 7 Tools of the Bandit, its effect does not get activated. That leaves us with my Change of Heart, which does get activated. So that means your red archery girl is mine for this turn.
Right again, Bradley. And see, even though you negated my Magic Jammer, I still had to discard.
This is starting to look familiar. I play Change of Heart and take control of your Blue Eyes White Dragon. That means your Blue Eyes is mine for this turn, right?
Right?
My Blue Eyes White Dragon and Dark Magician obliterate your life points directly, and bang, that's game. You have 0 points.
Well, that's the way I planned it. You just learned that in this game, any single move can turn the tables just like that.
Now I activate Mystical Space Typhoon and destroy your face down card. Do you wish to continue?
Yes, I do. I activate Wabaku.
Wait, you can't. I just destroyed it.
No, you didn't. You activated a card that can destroy it, but I get to respond. You remember the whole "do you wish to continue" thing, right?
Oh, I see. Since your Wabaku is a spell speed 2 trap card, you can chain it against my Mystical Space Typhoon, also a spell speed 2 card. So when we resolve the effect, you first get Wabaku's effect, but it doesn't do anything to my Mystical Space Typhoon. But then, Mystical Space Typhoon destroys Wabaku.
Exactly. But since Wabaku's effect lasts the entire turn, even if Mystical Space Typhoon destroys it, you can't do any battle damage this turn.
Oh man, I thought that I had you. These chains are really powerful, but tricky.
Yes, indeed they are. So now what?
I end my turn.
I draw. I summon Misaki the Legendary Swordsman. I enter my battle phase. Misaki the Legendary Swordsman attacks your life points directly. Red Archery Girl also attacks your life points directly. That ends the duel.
Wow, you are a real master duelist.
You will be a master duelist, Bradley. With this lesson, you are now an advanced duelist. You are 2/3 of the way through your journey to become a master duelist.
I hope I can be as good as you someday, but I still don't get it, Professor Duel. How was sending my family and friends to you supposed to help me conquer my opponents?
Did you not duel with them after our last visit?
Yes, I did.
And did they not all become stronger opponents?
Yes, very much so. They were tough opponents.
And did you not learn with each duel, your skills improving with each and every turn?
Ah, yes, I did. So you mean by playing better opponents, I've become better myself?
Correct. If you are to be challenged, you must seek out better opponents. You must share your knowledge with them so that as they improve, you improve. Share your knowledge with those around you. Only then will you be on your way to becoming a true master duelist.
Now I get it, Professor Duel. Thanks.
I hope your journey does not end here, Bradley. To become a true master duelist, there is much more to learn. Come back and visit me here soon, or you can visit me at any time at my schoolofduel.com website. But whatever you do, remember to keep learning, to always be a good sport, to have a handshake before each duel, and to conduct yourself so that at the end, win or lose, you've earned another one.
Special thanks to Ghostmasters, the best and most authoritative Yu-Gi-Oh magazines. Pick one up wherever magazines are sold.